Hello, everyone. Wow, I can't talk today. Hello, everyone. Krydax here. Welcome to our Twitch stream for Satisfactory. Today we are hopefully going to have some, of course, satisfying gameplay, because that is the name of the game. In our last episode, we used our glorious oil to make some plastic and rubber. And so we have some fuel canisters. We were able to get the jetpack going, which is very nice. And I think we are going to work on computers or heavy modular frames first. So, without any further ado, let us get started on that. Let me just kind of check on everything here. We are making fuel canisters kind of by hand right now. We're just grabbing a stack of canisters from over here. That's probably fine. I can do it better. Oops. I don't need all that fuel. And then here we're making the rubber from the recycled recipe. Now what's interesting, I still haven't done the math on all the chains, but there's a lot of different ways to make plastic and rubber and oil products. So there's some variations in terms of what might actually be useful. But I think the main thing I want to do next is actually get the tier 4 belts. Because now that I have a jetpack, the tier 4 belts are going to launch me basically as far as I want to go. So we want the milestone. I guess I could do the gas mask if I just craft 50 fabric. And that even gives me 3 more inventory slots. So let's do that. How do I... let's see. Make fabric. We know we need some biomass. I'll just make biomass from alien carapace. That's an easy way to make a few hundred. And then fabric, we said we needed 50. So we'll just make 50 of these bad boys real quick. And bada bing, bada boom. We'll be good to go. I should probably make more than 50 though, because I actually need these to make the... You put filters in the gas mask, and those get used up over time. So, I will make more than 50. I think maybe we'll stop at 80. That sounds good. Put the extra stuff away. Man, I have a lot of stuff in my inventory. I do need the extra space. There's just so many different resources I want to make sure I have on hand at all times that it gets a little crazy. I have a decent amount of power shards. 23 is a good number, but we'll want more later. So research-wise, I'm just kind of rechecking on this. I could do the color gun. I can also research parachutes. Why not? It's 3 seconds, just for the sake of completion. And then 250 screws for that one. I might as well do all the researches. Did I do half a stack again? Guess I can just do that. I might color things eventually, who knows. Okay, I'm kind of just biding my time until the pod gets back. Parachutes are kind of useless now that I have the jetpack. You know, it's interesting. I think the spiked rebar takes 2 clicks of crafting in the craft bench. I think you can also make this in the equipment workshop, and it's only 1 tick. So that's kind of a fun factoid. Okay, gas mask. Bam.
Milestone reached. Gas
How do I
masks
make
and
it?
filter parts will ensure increased odds of survival in gas-based hazardous environments. Fixit Incorporated would like to extend the friendly advice to not forget to change filters regularly.
Okay, so we need 100 of that fabric, which means I don't have enough mycelia, I don't think. So some other time we'll go get some more mushrooms. Yeah, I only have 56. So we'll put the fabric away for now and we'll deal with that later. Now I want to work on heavy modular frames. So heavy modular frames need regular modular frames, and those are backed up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the supply of modular frames that I already have to help me make heavy modular frames. And I think we're just going to extend this floor of the factory out. So I will need some more concrete, but I think we're just going to extend this direction. And try to craft as quickly as possible. Oh, I missed one. Oh, I should, you know what I should do is make sure it matches, because that's gonna bother all of you and me. So we will make this glass foundation starting here. And I will need some more concrete. I don't know if I'll need it right now, but... Alright. Okay, so let's take a look at heavy modular frames. So we need this giant manufacturer running to make them. And we'll push this all the way up to the edge and then back like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, I think is enough for a merger and some belts. Yeah, that should be fine. So we can make at most 2 per minute with a manufacturer running full speed, and I think that's all I want to automate for now. They will build up slowly, but it will be enough for the researches we need to do in the buildings we need to build. And we can always overclock it a little bit. The main issue is we need 10 encased industrial beams per minute. And currently I'm not making 10. I'm only making... We're just gonna go ahead and heal up there. That's circuit boards. How much am I making? I'm making 6 per minute. And that's taking 24 per minute from my steel beams. Let's see if I can remember how many I'm getting. Oh yeah, we have those 2 on standby. So I'm only getting 45 steel beams per minute. But I'm not using them for very much. I mean, right now I'm just using them for Mark III belts. So what I'm going to do to simplify my life is I'm just going to overclock this bad boy to double. You know what? Can we just build another assembler? Maybe I don't need... Yeah, we're not going to overclock. No reason to waste electricity here. I'm just going to use a splitter. And then steel beams. We will also use a splitter. Of course that doesn't work. We'll go a square out, and then we'll use a splitter. And then we'll come over to here. And there we go. to power this up. Okay. Encased industrial beam. So I think we're slightly short on the steel beam front. We need 48. And we're definitely short on the concrete front, because that means we need 60 per minute. And I'm not making 60 concrete per minute right now. And I didn't leave myself any space to expand this, which was not the wisest of moves. So we're gonna go back here. And we'll make 2 more constructors right here. Limestone can split here. And then again, right there. Then we'll make sure to power up our constructors. We are making concrete. And then we need a merger. Right there. And we'll have that run, let's see, to where? We really need it to run here, but this is kind of an unfortunate location. I guess that will go directly through a power pole, so that's great. What if I come out to here? And then that seems reasonable. Okay, well that looks decent. And that should give us the 60 concrete we need per minute. Now, I don't know if I have enough limestone, because that's 180 limestone. And I don't think I upgraded both of those to Mark II. Did I? Let's go find out. I think I upgraded that one to Mark II. I don't really know what Mark IIs look like from a distance. Okay, so that's 120. We did upgrade that one. And this one is 60, and we did upgrade it. So the problem is right now, if I'm making those heavy modular frames, well, I guess we're making 12 encased beams, so I get a few extra. But I'm just gonna overclock this to go a little faster. So we've got 80 plus, or 180 plus 60, which gives us 240, which is almost a full Mark III build. And I think that'll be good enough for now. Okay. So, what else do we need to do here? Got the concrete. We've got 2 encased industrial beams assemblers running at almost full speed, because we're just a tiny bit short on steel beams. And now we need to think about screws. Oh, and we need a merger here for the steel beams. Or encased industrial beams. Merger right in the front. Have it go directly out. Okay, so we're merging our encased beams. And then we need a single constructor. This is where I'm kind of happy about one of the choices I made for the alternate recipes. So a single constructor producing steel screws can make Up to 260 per minute. And we only need 200. So, unfortunately, this math doesn't update automatically, but splitter right here should be good. Of course, I'm just slightly too close, so we'll need to move that back a little bit. I think that should be good. Yeah, there we go. So steel screws will be more than adequate. We'll make 205 per minute just to make sure we've got enough. And the steel screws need to go all the way to the manufacturer. I think I'll just stack the two conveyors maybe right here, just so that we're not taking up a ton of space. This feels like wasted space though, so maybe I should move the manufacturer back. I do need the modular frames too though. And the steel pipes. Okay. Yeah, we'll just leave it here. We'll bring over the other stuff. So then screws will go on their own little layer. Encased industrial beams will go on their own layer. And the encased beams need to split off and hook back up with that, which is kind of a little bit out of the way. Maybe we can do this. No, who's that running into? The difficult world of encroaching others' clearance. And it's really hard to know whose. I gotta get at a better angle. Okay, so it's encroaching that constructor. Okay, what if I build it right here? Okay, that seems to work. Then it encroaches the other clearance. You just can't win. There we go. Okay. My OBS Studio keeps telling me I'm overloading the encoder. I don't really know why, because it hasn't really had too many issues with that before, but you guys will have to let me know if something's not working correctly. Maybe I still need to turn my video settings down. But, okay, so we need to hook up power lines here. Just hook up that one. And then we should see screws being produced at an insane rate out of one building, which is fun. Now, encased beams, because I need 10 of them for my heavy frames, I probably want to limit the storage container that they're going into so that I'm not just saving up hundreds and thousands of them for no reason. So they're going into this box. I should probably limit this box just a little bit. So that way we will have just a quicker time so that those will back up. And then we'll jetpack our way back over here. And now we just need to connect up all of our conveyors. Okay, so screws will hook up to there. Encased beams will hook up. And I'm forgetting something. Oh, the steel pipes. That's right. Okay, and then we have steel pipes, which currently I think I'm getting 40 per minute. Yeah. 40 per minute. It looks like they're backed up anyway. And then they go up on this belt. Unfortunately, I can't easily split that and make it go back that way. So I'll have to split it over here. And then I'll use a conveyor lift. So we can just go above all these constructors. Attach it to right there. So that'll be steel pipes. Alrighty. Encased industrial beams, steel pipes. We'll have the pipes go all the way over. Beams go there, screws go to the second input. Nothing's clipping, and then we'll bring over the modular frames. To here. I guess just for consistency we can bring it to right there. That'll look nice. Which means we need to move over 2 and back 2. Or is it 4? I think is the minimum distance. Does this fit? Or no, maybe it's 5. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we'll hook the modular frames up to that. Splitter. That seems fine. It's not a perfect straight line, but close enough. Put that up, and then we just need power. Where's the power plug on this thing? Right here, on the side that's farthest away from everything. So I'll attach power pole. And then hook up the power pole, and I think that should do it. I believe we have fully automated heavy modular frames. And we're just a little short on encased beams until those back up. But we should still be getting 6 per minute if, well, if the other one was making half, which it's not quite. So, we'll be a little short. Alright. It's looking good so far. And then we need to take these encased industrial beams, or heavy modular frames. I can't say the names of items today, apparently. And do we have anything going in here yet? Yeah. Wait, one of these is empty. What's going in here? Did I just never hook this up to anything? I didn't. Okay. So that's the one we need to think about next. Three, 4. So that's where we'll put the heavy modular frames. We can kind of just come straight over, I think. Does that attach? Oh, it's just a little bit too long. Okay, we'll come over here a little bit, and then we'll attach. Of course, I don't have enough steel beams. What are the odds? Okay, so we'll take those steel beams. And now we can get there. It's always one short, you know? Whether it's programming or building factories, you're always off by 1. Yes, heavy modular frames, you are complete. I need to watch you go all the way home. And boop. There we go. Okay, so we've got heavy modular frames, albeit they are not getting crafted quickly, we are crafting them. And honestly, just like any other game, if you guys have watched me play Factorio, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the non-zero concept. Automating something to be super high rates is way less important than just automating it. It almost doesn't even matter what the rate is, because you're going to spend hours doing other stuff. So if I'm even making 1 per minute, I'll probably have 300 before I know it. And so, I mean, obviously, if you need hundreds or thousands of something, you need to potentially think about how quickly you're automating it, but the concept is simply that automating it is more important than automating it quickly. Like, just getting these circuit boards automated was important, because now I have plenty of circuit boards for whatever I may need them for in terms of handcrafting, and I don't really need a ton more than I'm already crafting here. So next project, that was a pretty short one. Next project is going to be computers, which I will build right next to this. And I need some more concrete, so where is my concrete? I guess it's in my storage containers. I'm so used to the old way I played, where my storage containers were scattered all over the world, that it's actually really nice having a little shopping mall here. I don't normally play this way. I'm trying to be extra organized for you guys, and this is the best I can do, so that shows you how organized I truly am. Okay, so we're going to want to build another manufacturer right next to this one for computers. And, you know, I could leave room for like a second manufacturer, but I think I'm in a stage where I'm just trying to get kind of tech up, and I'll need a bunch more alternate recipes before I want to mass produce these anyway. There's both a heavy modular frame recipe and an encased industrial beam alternate recipe that are both very strong in terms of reducing the amount of steel and iron and other things you need. So I'd really like to unlock those recipes before I put more work into heavy modular frames. Okay, so our computer manufacturer will go next to this guy. That's maybe a little bit too much space, but that's fine. Okay, so for computers, I also need high-speed connectors at some point, because I think those are used for the tier 3 power poles, which I would like to build at some point. I don't really need to automate gas filters. I can just handcraft, you know, 100 of those once and not need them again for like 50 hours. Computers, on the other hand, we do need to automate. So 25 circuit boards, 22 cables, 45 plastic, and 130 screws. Interesting. So for screws, I might just do steel beams again, because I think that steel beam recipe is actually quite strong now that we have solid steel ingots. Because a steel beam only requires, I think it's 4 steel ingots, which is going to be like only about 2.5 iron ore and 2.5 coal to make 52 screws. That seems pretty good compared to needing like 13 iron ore. Plastic, we can just make a little bit more of that in our oil refining. Cable, I could make from iron. And then circuit boards, we're already making 15. So I might knock this down to 2 per minute, which of course, since it's not running, it's not going to change this math, but I can do the math. 80% of 25 is 20. So can I make 20 circuit boards per minute? I think with just a little bit of overclocking, we can. And I don't really want to have to redo stuff, so if I just overclock this guy to 12.5, then that should add up to 20. So maybe we'll do 13. Just have a tiny bit of bonus. But that means we need more copper sheets. We need 41. 26 plus 15 is 41 copper sheets. So we'll need to bump our constructors up. Which I'd actually rather just add another constructor. So we'll do that. Just on the other side of this belt here. You will make copper sheets. You need to be powered by something. Hopefully power. Connect up power pole. I love it when the last connection you make, or a connection you make, is it just fits perfectly to the 7th connection. That feels nice. And then this needs to be a merger right there. Of course, that just happens to go through that conveyor pole. The nice thing about conveyor poles is they're only aesthetic, so I can just build another one right behind it. That looks just as good. And that should do it. The only problem is now I need 80 copper ingots, and if I'm remembering correctly, I'm not smelting 80. Where are these even coming from? Oh yeah, they're all the way back on this corner of the base. Alright, so copper ingots, those are coming from here. So it looks like I'm making 60. So let's change that to be 90. So, of course, my walkway continues to be in the way, and not very useful now that I have the jetpack. Okay, so the merger will now merge 3 smelters. Guys, this is the jankiest base of all time. Oh my goodness. Alright, conveyor lift. Connect that up, and that should do it for all of the copper we need. Although, what? Oh, right, okay. I was like, why is there no copper on the belt? It's because I just built it. So that will come back over to feed these constructors, making copper sheets. We're going to be short by 1 sheet per minute because I think I needed 41. So, what if this is the 12.5 that it's supposed to be? We're actually going to be exactly correct. Now we've got a bit of a problem with plastic. So this needs 50. This guy needs 30, so that's 80. And then the computers, we're going to need... So 80 plus... What's 80% of 45? 80 plus... Let's just say 40. It's really more like 30... Probably like 37.5 or some weird decimal, but... Because a fifth of this is 9. So 4 times 9. So 36 per minute. So 80 plus 36 is 116. So I need 116 plastic per minute. So I think we're going to need a few more refineries making plastic, which we can go do. And I really goofed putting all this stuff in the way. That was a bad decision. I'm going to have to relocate some things. But how much plastic am I making right now? I'm making 100. And I just said I needed 116. But then a third of my plastic goes to making rubber, so we need more like 170 if I keep the same ratios. That's actually not too bad. Okay, I definitely ran out of inventory space. I've created a lot of rubber. I bet I could get a lot of awesome sync points from that. I haven't done anything with the awesome sync in a while. Okay, so get rid of this. Oh, that's going back. Okay, so we'll leave that there, because I'll still need that. And then now we just add some more refineries. I think 5 more will be good. Make sure they're facing the right direction. Beep, 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 beep. Bam. Gosh, those things are huge. Alright, and if my math memory is correct, this pipeline will actually support all 10. Yeah, 30 per minute. So that's perfectly convenient. So we'll just keep putting these pipelines, which, again, it's so weird. So they won't, you can't see the green lines unless you jump. I don't know why that is. They just don't show up unless you're vertically up a little bit, and then you can see those little green lines that help you build it. I don't know why they don't appear when you're standing level with things, when you need them the most, but, you know, thus is life. Okay, so then we connect up our pipelines. Now this will almost certainly give me power issues once everything starts running. So I will need to move towards fuel generators as soon as I can. Okay, so we want to keep making plastic the normal way. There's a part of me that even wonders, I feel like I did this math once upon a time, but I don't remember it. Like, is it better to make rubber and turn that heavy oil residue into fuel by making diluted packaged fuel, and then using the recycled plastic recipe from that? Because 2 heavy oil residue is going to get you 4 fuel, which is enough to process 4 rubber into 8 plastic. I don't even know the math on how all this works. It's so interesting. So, like, imagine if you just started with rubber and then made plastic and then made rubber again. What would you end up with? So you'd start with 6 rubber and you'd need 6 fuel, and then you'd get 12 plastic, and then you'd need 12 more fuel to add to that to get, I think the recipes are the same. Yeah, so you'd have 24 rubber from 6 rubber. So you essentially made 18 rubber for free from 18 fuel, if I'm doing that math correctly. So essentially 1 unit of fuel can turn into 1 plastic or 1 rubber, depending on how you make the loop. And then 1 heavy oil residue can make 1 unit of fuel. So making 2 rubber and 2 heavy oil residue really means 2 rubber and 2 plastic, whereas this is only making 2 plastic and 1 of rubber or plastic. So theoretically, if I was being efficient, I would just be making all rubber. But since these other guys are already making plastic, I'm just going to stick with the same thing for now. But that's good to think about for later, if we want to try to be as efficient as possible with all of our crude oil. Okay, so we've got all that input, and then our total output is going to be 200 per minute of plastic, so we just need to keep going with the mergers. Let's see, this splitter I need to kind of remove for just a moment. So the mergers, we're just going to keep them flowing this way. Three, 4 and 5. That should do it. We need another building menu. Now, I've seen some really cool designs where players will, they'll put the refinery, kind of like I did with the logistics containers. They'll like put their refinery on an edge, and then like the pipes will go like down underneath, and then the conveyors will go sideways, and it looks really neat. I don't know if I'm quite creative enough for that. I just like things to go in straight lines. That's about as creative as I get. But there are some really cool ways that you can design this stuff. Okay, so we need some more pipeline stuff going on. Okay, and this will be for the heavy oil residue. We need these junctions. I hate that you can't line this up using the grid. You have to just do it visually. Is this in a straight line? No, I made a mistake. I thought something looked weird. Okay, just kidding. It's all wrong. Destroy everything. Okay, what did I mess up? I thought this was in line. Was it just lining up with something else, maybe? Because I built them all with a green line next to them. I'm sure. Yeah, I think that's right. And then this guy goes here, 2 squares high, and then that goes out here, 2 squares high. Okay, that should do it. Millionth tries the charm. You know, my dad always said, measure once, cut twice, and we definitely only measured once there. So, we are reaping our reward of cutting twice. So if I jump, I can even see the line just shooting straight out. That's so funny. But only if I'm facing that direction? Where did it go? I want it back. Give me the green line. Who knows? Alright. Line up all the things. Okay. Hook up 5 more, and then some power lines, and we should be good to go. Looks good. Power, I will put, I guess, next to this other one. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I just have to make sure they're all set to plastic. Let's see. 2, 3. Okay, this one. So I think they're all running now. And that should be a lot of plastic. Now for rubber, we're not using it in any recipes right now, so I really don't give a crap. So we're gonna need to do something else with this heavy oil residue. Because now I'm getting like 100 per minute, is that right? Yeah. So I'm getting up to 100 per minute of heavy oil residue, and I need to process that. So I'm gonna extend my little platform here by a few squares. So in a refinery, I just need to look at the recipes here. One way we could get rid of our heavy oil residue is with petroleum coke. We could even use that to feed generators, so we can turn it into power, coal power, essentially. That would run in coal generators. The most efficient way to use it would be to make diluted fuel. That can only handle 30 heavy oil per minute, and then we need to unpackage the fuel so it can go into a fuel dealie. That is the official name for it, by the way, a fuel dealie. And then the last thing we can do is just make straight liquid fuel like this, and that can make up to 60. But do I even have fuel generators yet? I don't. So I think we need a bunch of computers for that research. So for now, what I'm gonna do, just as a short-term solution, is split off our heavy oil. I will input that to just make petroleum coke, and then I'll throw a power shard in here, of which I don't have any left. So I will need a power shard. And then I'm just going to put an awesome sink right here. Which maybe I need a couple more platforms for. I have no way to tell if that's lined up. But we'll just throw all of that petroleum coke into the awesome sink. And just for, of course that doesn't fit, I'll throw half of it into a storage container just in case I need a bunch of petroleum coke for something. We gotta power up the awesome sink. Connect to that power down there. And we need to connect up our refinery to power. And that should do it. So we are turning heavy oil residue into petroleum coke, and we're sinking half of it, which will get us some amount of points. I'm not sure how many. So I wanted to check, we are using our batteries. Excuse me. So we are using our batteries at this point. We're not going to have power forever, but we're not using a ton of them, so I've still got plenty of time to work on those fuel generators. I love the addition of those new batteries. 100 megawatt hours feels like a lot for each battery to hold. I was expecting it to be more like 5 to 10 megawatt hours. So that's, I mean, it's definitely nice. I think it's kind of extreme, like the amount of time and power you can get. I think I only built 4 of the things, and it wouldn't have been hard for me to build, 30, since it's just kind of a one-time build it and put it down. But I gotta say, I like it a lot. As for me, I like the battery. Okay, so let me... Oh, I kind of messed up my fuel canister production. That's a bummer. Am I even making fuel anymore? Or, yeah, I am. I'm just not making the empty canisters anymore. Is actually what I need to do. So this needs to actually attach around the corner. And I need to put all my empty canisters in here, and that will get me some more fuel. I just want to make sure rubber's still being produced. We're still packaging fuel. Rubber is on a belt. I guess we can just still have that. Oh, is that not the... This is not the input side. We'll just have a storage container here to grab some rubber. Because again, I'm not even using it for automation right now. So we can just take a few stacks for ourselves and let the rest build up. And then plastic, we have connected up here. And that now should be plenty. 200 per minute, yeah. So we're making up to 200 per minute plastic, which should be more than enough for the circuit boards and computer stuff that I need. And the plastic line here goes on a splitter, so I can just kind of curve this around the edge. Maybe, if I can figure out how far it needs to go. There we go. And we'll just have this continue along. So we'll need circuit boards. And how many am I making? Did I? Yeah, I had to fix that. I overclocked this. So we're making just enough circuit boards. So I'll actually put these in the same stack. Circuit boards are up here. We've got plastic. I'll deal with screws in a moment. Let's see if we can bridge the gap here. Bam. And it's really hard to aim this far away. There we go. Okay, so we've got plastic, we've got circuit boards, we also need cable, which I'll deal with in a moment, and screws. Screws are interesting. I think I want to... Gosh. I want to use these steel beams, but I've kind of made a mess of this area. So I think I'm going to make these screw guys out a little further. And these both will make screws out of steel beams. And I can't put that quite there because it runs into the splitter. So we'll do that. We'll set these both to alternate steel screws. And then we need to power them up. The spaghetti intensifies, let me tell you what. Okay, and then we want this one. We actually just need to deconstruct this belt. So those are going to heavy modular frames. And then these ones, I will just have come over to line up with whatever that's called, the computer stuff. So that'll be screws, and then we just need cables, and we'll be set to make computers. Yay for complicated manufacturing. So cables are a little bit of a problem. 22.5. We can just make those out of iron wire. I'm happy to do that. I just need the iron. Which... Is there any iron nearby? There's that iron out there. I mean, I'm not using all of this. And pretty soon I'm going to have tier 4 belts, which means I can get... If I overclock those Mark II miners, I can get tons of iron. So can I safely take about 40 much iron is it going to be? It's going to be about 50 iron per minute from one of those. Alternately, I could use the cable that I'm already making in a variety of other places. But I kind of like the idea of just using these. And I'll just make them down on the ground like some sort of barbarian. So we need 2 smelters. Those are going to be making iron ingots. And then we need... how many constructors? I don't know. 3? Making iron wire. So cable requires exactly 2 wires, so... don't we need 22.5 cable? So we would need exactly 2 constructors making wire. And then 1 constructor making cable. That seems good to me. Just put a splitter right here. Sorry, a merger. And then these are both, wait, 12.5? Oh, right, because an ingot makes about 2 wire, which makes about 1 cable. So I really only need 1 smelter. And then a splitter, and then connect that, and then everything needs to be powered. And this pole needs to be connected to another pole somewhere. And all of that put together should equal nothing, because I haven't connected up the iron. So let's try that again. All of that put together should equal cable made from iron, which is weird. Iron's not very conductive, at least not compared to copper. You know what I just realized? It's weird there's no gold in this game. I mean, I think Caterium is supposed to be the substitute for that, almost certainly, because it's kind of got a goldish color and is used for conducting. But you'd think there'd be gold. And you would use that for some components. Okay, so we are making wire. Looks like that is successful. There we go. That gets fed into this to make cable. Okay, and then we just have to have this be connected with kind of our base area over here. Kind of want it to be on a lift right here. So put it right here. Raise it up to make sure it's not clipping with anything there. And then I need to get up